What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to give you guys a very, very important warning as the market's getting very close to all-time highs. And we should be going about this when it comes to trading and watching the way the market's moving. But before I break the doubles information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks, and the offer is very soon, just 8 days. Anyways, for the market, I just wanted to call this out. I want to remind you all that we have Jefferson giving a speech right now, and then at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out. This could cause a reaction in the market, so get ready for this, and be very, very patient on looking at what this causes. But moving forward, let's talk about SPY. How are things looking for SPY, in my personal opinion? We have a couple like formation that's forming, but nothing's always guaranteed just solely based off patterns. We're approaching the all-time high. We got very, very close to it at this 531.5 area. If we break through this, we could be pushing for 532.25. And if we end up failing to break through this, we could be forming a little rejection before it tries to form like a cup and handle, or if we even like dip lower. So I would say the best thing to do is just be very patient, okay? Wait and see what the reaction is as we approach this all-time high. SPY is approaching it. It's kind of shuffling up here for the time being, and we'll see if we get a rejection or not. But for now, it's holding up very well. Technicals still favor the bulls a bit more, especially when you go to the bigger time frames. Remember how I said we might see this little liquidity grab lead to a nice push up in the markets? I said that yesterday, and that's exactly what happened so far. So we'll have to wait and see what the reaction is. Do we get a rejection or not? I'll be watching very, very patiently. But for now, SPY is holding up very well. It's still favoring bulls, and there's no sign of rejection yet. So be very patient. We may be stuck here for quite some time. So watch and see what the reaction is. Do we get a little move back down to about 530.8 and then 530? Or do we continue to hold up at the all-time high and try to break it to new highs? I personally am just waiting. We'll just give it some time and see how things go. Tesla's a little bit lackluster. Got a little bit of a dip today because Tesla had some negative news. Tesla has to extend some of its price cuts for many leasing companies. That's not the best of news for them. More price cuts eat into their margins. That's why Tesla's a little bit lackluster. So watch and see this resistance at 175.93 on Tesla to 176.68 are key EMAs. If we break past the 20 EMA, that 176.6 area, watch 178. Our support's also at this trend line right here, this 174 area. If we lose that, look for 172, then lower levels. Overall, it's holding up very, very nicely, I would say so far, but nothing's guaranteed yet because once again, there's negative news and it's still affecting Tesla's overall structure. So we're just kind of range bound right now on Tesla. We'll give this some time to see how it ends up moving. For Nvidia is pushing up quite well so far. We have this the 950 resistance, excuse me, and we have support currently at this 937 area. Right now, we're just kind of shuffling, but I do see potential for a little bit more upside if we do continue to hold up. Look for a retest of 944 and see it just kind of shuffle from here. But overall, Nvidia is showing some strength and is holding up very well, especially as we get very close to earnings. For the QQQ, just like SPY, we're approaching all-time highs. If we continue to break out, the question is, will we get a little rejection to like the 453s, then break out all the way up to about 455, or will we just go straight up? Will we watch to see if we break or not, or do we get a big rejection? If we do reject here, we have to actually lose 452 to turn back to bearish to get down to 450. So far, the QQQ is favoring more upside and new all-time highs. So it's still actually looking more in favor of the bulls, and the technicals look more bullish overall for now. Part of why the market's holding up is also because of Apple. Apple dipped all the way down to 188 before getting a bounce, and we pushed all the way up towards 192. So Apple's doing relatively well right here. It's actually pushing up nicely, and we could see this continue to pump from here. Apple's looking more bullish. Look for 192 as resistance and 192.5. Overall, that's helping the QQQ and the market push to all-time highs. For Amazon, we're shuffling at 185. We tried to kind of break through it, and then we came back down. And we're now just trading sideways in the 185 area. So we might just continue to trade sideways here. We have the support at 183, and then 185.5 is resistance. So it's just going back and forth and back and forth. As far as Meta goes, on the 1 hour time frame, we have our 50 EMA at this 472.5 areas resistance. Our support's at 469. In my personal opinion, it's going to likely shuffle between these EMAs before we end up getting another move. So we'll watch and see which way it breaks. Otherwise, it's just completely range bound. For GameStop, okay, GameStop, in my opinion, is actually on a bit of a downtrend right here. We have a nice looking bearish formation that is developing, and we have this nice little gap all the way down here to be filled. So this looks a little bit more bearish to me. It could actually eventually still drop. We're still down 2%, but once it gets that move, we're going to look for a big bounce. AMC is actually up quite a bit for now, but we have the 50 EMA, the 4.83 to 5 area as resistance. It could still kind of reject. We're still in the fours, guys. So unfortunately, AMC is not doing anything too crazy. But like I said before, there's still downside potential for it, a little bit more. So we'll wait and see, at least temporarily. We'll see if we get another breakout to the upside later on. But for now, technicals are still showing a downtrend is still present. All right. So with that being said, that's it for the majority of tickers I typically go over. For Bitcoin, I know people are interested in this. We're still shuffling in the range. I did call this out in the morning. We have 67,500 as resistance. We have support in this 66,500 area. It's going to likely remain range bound for now, and then we'll see what happens moving forward. But for now, guys, my eyes are kind of going to be on SPY for the time being. We're approaching the all-time high, so we'll have to see what the reaction is. Do we break through this to a new all-time high and just keep going, or do we get a little rejection first before it continues higher? As of right now, there's no sign of rejection. It looks pretty strong right now, so SPY does favor upside for now. We'll see if anything else changes. But don't forget, we have a couple of Fed speakers. We have Jefferson, then Bostic giving speeches. Then we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to start very, very soon. So get ready to see what the reaction is, and we'll see how we end up reacting to this resistance. But with that being said, thank you all so much for listening. I'll see you guys in just a couple of hours, and peace out.